Today is October 24th. I'm heading back down to the property, to the wildlife area that I went in on opening day, and then I went in the weekend after that. I know I didn't see anything both times, but the sign in there is too good to pass up. And last year when I was in there, I hunted there 3 times in October and November, and all 3 times I had encounters with a buck that I named Lucky. Basically I passed him up on the first time. I ended up sneaking in like 20-25 yards away from him. He never knew I was there. I had plenty of time to take my stand and pack off my back, pull my face mask up, take my quiver off, and knock an arrow. And I was drawn back on him twice. I had some issues earlier in that week, some tuning issues, and being I was just on the ground with him, I was still kind of working my way into where I wanted to hang a set for the day, and I just had way too much. I just had too much brush and stuff in between us. There's a lot of saplings down there too. In this area, a lot of young, like, regeneration and whatnot. And I only had like a 6x6 or 8x8 inch window, even at like my best opportunity on him. And normally I would be completely fine with that, but I just didn't feel 100% confident. Like I said, I had some tuning issues earlier in the week, and I wasn't 100% sure they were resolved, and it was pretty early in the season the first time I encountered him, so I decided to give him the pass. And then the second time I called him in, and he actually he came in and ended up catching movement when I was picking up my bow, so he outsmarted me the second time. And then the third time I went in, he just kind of lucked out again. Basically I was only 2 sticks high, still setting up, when he started coming in. He was coming in a bit ahead of schedule that day, and so I quickly got down before he picked me off up in the tree, setting everything up, and I just waited on the ground for him. And I was on a finger off of this ridge, and I was on the downside because I was hunting in the evening. I was planning on those thermals dropping. I wanted my scent dropping down the opposite side of where he normally comes into, and he just never came over just never crested the top of that finger. The leaves crunching, it sounded like he was literally almost on top of me. And he must have turned around just before he got to the top, because I never saw his antlers come up over the crest of that hill. So I don't know if he made it through the gun season or not. My trail camera kind of filled up by November, like late November, and I didn't get back in there. I let it soak the whole season. I didn't get in there until February, and I pulled it down, and like I said, it had been filled since November. So I don't know if he's still around or not. I know there's a lot of good bucks in that area, and just from the sign when I was in there the last few times, there's just rubs everywhere, so fresh ones, and scrapes too. And I'm sure there's even more scrapes down there now that I haven't been there in a couple weeks. So I've never hunted a morning there, actually, so I'm going in there this morning. I'm going to do my first morning hunt there, So we'll see what happens. I know when I was getting out of there last time, I pulled the card on my trail camera, and I had already known that the camera was angled too high. So that was another thing I had to do on my way out, was not only pull the card but adjust it. I ended up pulling the card though, and there was only one video on it, and it was basically some kid was riding around in there on that top, or on the main trail. It's no longer ATV friendly, but he was riding around on his dirt bike with his like little brother or something on the front of the bike, and they pulled up to my mock scrape, and they started yanking on pulling on the vine and looking at it, and that was enough when they pulled on the vine, it pulled that whole branch down, and that was high enough to actually trigger the camera, so I could see like just from the waist up of them. But I angled it down on my way out though, so it should be good. Even if I don't see anything today, which hopefully is not the case, but even if I don't see anything today, I'll pull that card and hopefully get an idea of what time of day the bucks are using those scrapes, and what time the deer are moving through there and whatnot. So fingers crossed, see what happens today. Well guys, another day of filming leaves and squirrels and birds, but I don't know, I had high hopes for coming in here today and doing my first morning sit here ever. It just didn't pan out to be what I expected or what I wanted. So when I got down, I checked my trail camera, and I don't know if someone had gotten into it or if I just didn't push the SD card up all the way, but it was half out, so it didn't film anything. So when I got down, after I checked that, I packed everything up, and then just started going around doing a bunch of scouting, looking for some new fresh sign, because the rubs that I had found in there on September 26th were kind of old news now. So I actually found a lot of good sign, a lot of fresh sign, a lot of fresh rubs, and a lot of scrapes that are active. Some of the scrapes from prior are no longer active, they're covered in leaves. And the rubs, a lot of them, the wood shaving or the bark shavings, are sitting on top of the leaves, and all the leaves just came down or they're still coming down, but a lot of them came down in the last week or two, so I know they're fresh. And a lot of the rubs were still kind of bleeding, so picked a tree, picked a game plan, set up a mock scrape right there, and moved my camera, and I'm gonna try and get in here in the next 2 weeks, try and take advantage of that fresh sign and capitalize on something. So we'll see what happens. I ended up while I was setting that mock scrape up, a deer started to come in, and I think kind of heard some leaves rustling and like a sticks cracking kind of stuff, and didn't know what was going on, but it obviously didn't want to hang around, so it took off running. It didn't blow or anything, and then on my way out, I ended up bumping a few deer right where the path from the parking heads up to the top of the ridge. So there were some deer bedded right in there, or they were browsing around right there. I've never hunted that close to where those paths connect. I normally go in quite a little bit further, so that's another option. I might throw a sit in there as well. It looked like there's a brand new rub that had opened up too right there, and one of the scrapes is still active, so we'll see. I've definitely got some options in here, and I'm not gonna write this place off. I know there's some big bucks in here, so stay tuned.